Now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a Tuesday night edition of the Allegheny Health Network Nightly Sports Call, where you make the call. And all you have to do is call 412-575-2600. You could tweet me at KD Pomp or at Gene Collier. We're talking a lot of hockey tonight with you. And we'll begin with a walk-off by Mark Trumbo that just occurred down in Baltimore. The Pirates had a 2-run lead into the bottom of the ninth. Tony Watson came in and blew another one. That's where we're going to, because it's fresh, because it's new, and because it's become an old theme with Tony Watson. I say get him out of there as a closer. Put in Felipe Rivera, who today in an inning and two-thirds was over 100 miles an hour several times as he was in New York. Blew away Machado with his at-bat. Trumbo comes up against Wade LeBlanc after Machado almost hit a 2-run game-winning walk-off home run. He took him to the wall, and he wins the game, so the Pirates lose one they should have won. Gene Collier, the Post-Gazette outstanding columnist, is here. Tony Watson, this is his fourth blown save. In 4 other opportunities, he had bases-loaded situations that he created and got away with. Do you think it's time to make a change?
Yep. Felipe Rivera has been so impressive. Really the next most lethal thing out of any bullpen anywhere next to Aroldis Chapman, just in terms of velocity. So a permanent thing, although I suspect it will be. And, I'm not convinced that Clint Hurdle is exactly ready to do it, but I would do it.
Yeah, me too. I've been saying that for a while now. I just like the fact that that guy doesn't seem to be fazed by anything. He comes in, he has an 81-mile-an-hour slider to go along with that 102-mile-an-hour fastball. Right. And Watson just looks uncomfortable there. He was better served maybe as a setup guy. And tonight, because he did it again, they had to use LeBlanc in the bottom of the 10th, and he got taken advantage of. So the Pirates lose when they should have won. And Ivan Nova deserved to win tonight. He was just cruising along until the 7th inning. He tweaked something, it looked like, Gene, and had to take him out of the game. But Nova's been so good, and there have been a lot of opportunities where he could add to his win total, and they haven't materialized.
Yeah, this could end up being a big night for the Pirates, especially if Nova is hurt and Rivera ends up as the closer. It'll be kind of a pivotal moment for them.
All right, let's talk about Game 5 coming up here on Thursday night. A lot of people want to do that. Number one, Mike Sullivan made it fairly clear today, indirectly, that Matt Murray will be his goaltender. He was asked twice about the goaltending situation. His quote was, "We didn't lose Game 4 because of goaltending." He said it not once, not twice. He's stuck with Murray before. I don't see him changing script. Gene, do you?
No, that seems to be what that means. I don't expect him to change. I do think it's a – I was hoping it would be a situation where he gave it at least a lot of thought, as he did before inserting Murray for Game 4 against Ottawa, but it doesn't look like that's what's happening. It looks like he's just going to stick with him. And, I'm not going to second-guess Mike Sullivan. He seems to know what he's doing.
There was some encouraging game notes about last night, and that is the offense had multiple opportunities against Pekka Rinne. The problem is Pekka Rinne now, he's played the way you would expect him to play, the way he has played throughout the course of the Stanley Cup playoffs. At home, he's very good, and he was in these 2 games. So he was the difference. Now it's a best of 3, Gene. It comes down to 2 games at home. And quite frankly, if Nashville can't win a road game, they will not win the Stanley Cup. So the Penguins pretty much see what they got to do. It's right there in front of them. But those 4 defensemen in Nashville have given them problems. They have contained a lot of the play. The Penguins' defensive unit, all 6 of them, I admire what they've been able to do given the fact that Chris Letang has been out the entire time. However, it's starting to take a toll on that group, it looks like. Would you make a change there with one of those guys coming out and maybe Chad Ruhwedel going in? Yeah,
I mean, you might see a change there. I don't know if it's going to make much difference. I just think the Penguin defense is wearing down. Nashville looks right now like, the younger team, the more energetic team, and it's down to a best of 3.
All right, we'll talk about it with you. What do you see happening in Game 5? Would you make any changes? If so, what would they be? 412-575-2600. We'll take those calls next right here live on Pittsburgh's CW.